Hello, I'm back again with another video, and today is another tier list. I've been doing a lot of these, and they seem to be doing well, and you guys seem to be enjoying them, so here's another one. Today, the tier list is going to be another Demon Slayer one with me ranking the 12 Kazuki demons, upper moons 1 through 6, and then lower moons 1 through 6, or 6 through 1. First, we have upper rank 2 Doma, and real quick, I just want to say there will be spoilers for the manga since I'm talking about demons that have only really shown up in the manga. So yeah, Doma is one that has that kind of flamboyant-esque personality and then is just killing because he enjoys it. He's essentially just a psychopath. And we don't get too much from him until the final arc, and also we see the Upper Moons meeting, which will be in the next season of the anime. And while I do like him enough, I'm just not the biggest fan of his character. I think he serves his purpose decently, and if I had to put him, I'd probably put like B tier, C tier. I'd say B tier. I think he does well enough. Next is Gyoko, Upper Moon 5, and we only really see him largely in the Swordsmith Village arc, which will be season 3 of the anime, and Muchiro defeats him relatively not too easily. He does give a challenge, but he just overall likes his art. He sculpts these pots, and he is pretty cool because of that. I like his whole personality in contrast to Muchiro, and Muchiro kind of just violates him and makes fun of his art, which was cool. But honestly, I feel like he was defeated the easiest out of all the upper moons, and we also probably got just about the least of him. Because of this, I don't think I could put him higher than C tier, but I don't hate him in the slightest. I just don't think he's quite as good as the other people. So next, I'm actually going to deviate from the order of this of the upper moons and go to some other lower moons just to switch things up. So first, we have the lower moon. I think he was 2 from the Rengoku Gaiden novel. And again, since it is a relatively short novel, it's like 2 chapters. It's a little longer than regular manga chapters, but we don't get too much. And because of this, I'm just going to have to put him in probably D tier. His fight is cool, but that's about all there is to him. Next is a random demon that just gets killed by Muzan, followed by another one that just gets killed by Muzan, followed by another one that just gets killed by Muzan, and the last one that just gets killed by Muzan. This is when he just abolishes the lower moons after Rui's death, and he only leaves Enmu. And then Enmu goes on to have a spotlight in the Mugen Train arc, which I'll now do Enmu. And honestly, I'd say solid B tier. You don't get much of a background or anything, but I love the aura that the character has. They were definitely a really powerful lower moon. That's why they were lower moon 1. And Muzan let them live for a reason. I thought their demon art ability, which I just realized I haven't been speaking about a lot of these people's demon arts, but Doma's is ice, and then Gyoko's is kind of like misty, and I think he uses fish. It's kind of a weird, I don't know, he's weird. Anyways, though, Enmu puts people to sleep, and in this dream layer, they can go in and kill them. So I thought that was cool, and it's cool how Rengoku and all these people fought against that and just broke out of it. Next is Rui, and I'd put A tier. The backstory of this character is really tragic, and we actually get to see it fully fleshed out on like some other characters on the list. His want and desire for a family, no matter what the cost, is really beautiful, and how he just wants to create this demon family even after becoming a demon. It's all pretty depressing, symbolic, and yeah, he fights against Tanjiro in a really well animated fight in the anime, and of course, it's still really good in the manga. Eventually, Gyu just pretty much one taps him, and yeah, he goes out like that. But he was a very cool character with a cool arc surrounding him. I think that was one of the scarier arcs in the woods and all that, or the mountain mission. Next is the former Lower Moon Demon I remember from season 1 of the anime. I'll just put D tier or maybe C tier. We actually got a backstory. Yeah, I'll put C tier. That was like the music guy. We had the backstory of him being like made fun of or talked down on because of his music, and he becomes a demon, and he has a pretty cool arc in that kind of mansion thing that he's able to shift around. Anyways, though, moving on, we have who should I do next? Next, I'll do Kaigaku. So Kaigaku is obviously tied to Zenitsu. They both have the same master, and when Kaigaku leaves to become a demon, his master kills himself, causing Zenitsu to want to get revenge. And we see this revenge in the final arc, or second to final arc, the Infinity Castle one. It's Zenitsu's shining moment in the manga, obviously, and Kaigaku just takes second place here. He's just kind of like, oh, well, he's the person here to give Zenitsu this moment. And we don't even get that much really intrigue into why he's feeling this way. We get, okay, he thinks that Zenitsu's a failure failure and doesn't understand why his master is also teaching Zenitsu, and he can do all the lightning forms instead of the first one Zenitsu can do. It's a cool contrast, but there's not too much to it, and because of this, I'm just gonna have to put him in D tier. Next, I'll do Nakami, and we see Nakami primarily in the Infinity Castle, being able to switch it around, like the placements of the rooms, which obviously would discombobulate anyone fighting Muzan. And yeah, she replaces Upper Moon 5, I believe, or some Upper Moon in that final arc, and doesn't really do too much, honestly. It's just defeated not too easily, but again, I don't think whether or not they were defeated easily matters too much to the character. And they don't do too much. So again, I'm gonna have to put D tier. No backstory as far as I can remember and all that. Okay, now getting into the rest of the proper upper moons. I'll do Akaza first because Akaza is going to go straight to S tier. His backstory, his motivations, I love all of it. His fight with Giyu and Tanjiro is all really beautiful. I did an entire in-depth analysis on this fight. If you want to watch it, I'll link it in the description. And yeah, I think that it's my favorite fight personally in Demon Slayer. I love all 3 of those characters and how they all contrast each other and also are similar in certain ways. It's done really well, and because of all this, he's easily S tier. The one gripe I have with Akaza is that he turned my favorite Hashira and Goku into a fucking donut. So that's the one thing I have to say, but as a character, he's still S tier. Sorry, Rengoku. You will be missed. Anyways, moving on to Yutaro and his sister Daki. I'll put these as a duo in the ranking that I'll give them because they are intrinsically combined together, literally and metaphorically. They grew up together, they're brother and sister, and because of this, they have that relationship when they transfer into demons. Doma is actually the one that offers them to become a demon or offers Yutaro, and then, so on and so forth. I think these characters are written really beautifully, and while not quite S tier, I don't think I'll put them in compared to Akaza. I will put them in A tier with Rui. They are very well done. And the Entertainment District arc is really cool and one of my favorite arcs in the series. Next is one that I've never really liked too much and just found mostly annoying, but also when he splits up into the separate personalities and he goes into his mini form. Sorry for the voice crack. Hantangu is really cool. He's a very cool character because of that, but it's more so his ability. His personality itself in his like regular form is kind of just annoying. So because of this, I'll put him in B tier, but that power of how he splits apart and all that is really fucking cool. I think it's one of the cooler demon arts and abilities in the story. And I'll probably make another video on this, but the Swordsmith Village arc actually is not my favorite in the series. I have problems with it, and it's probably not my least favorite arc, but I don't like it as much as some others. But anyways, on to number 1. Upper rank 1, Kokoshibo, straight to A tier as well. Not quite S tier where Akaza is, but I think he is a very well-written character. He's interesting. I like his moon breathing, how he's the brother of Yurichi, of obviously the GOAT, Yurichi. I think his fight with Genya, Muchiro, Sanemi, and Guillaume is my second favorite in the series. I think it's really cool. And yeah, he's just this pinnacle of power, not quite Muzan level or Yurichi level, but aside from that, he pretty much is probably the strongest. And his aura is really powerful, his technique, and aside from Kaigaku, he's the only demon that we see using breathing techniques, and he uses it extremely well, so that's very interesting. He's defeated in a bit of a weird way, as I feel like all the Upper Moon demons are, honestly, where they're more so defeated by themselves in the end because he starts regenerating and then he sees a reflection of himself on a sword and he thinks, what have I become? And because of this, he loses that ability to regenerate it and want to continue on. But yeah, that's it for this ranking. Looking at it again, I don't think I'd change anything. I'm happy with it. And yeah, that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please subscribe. I'm trying to get 1,000 by the end of the year. Just a fun little goal. Don't feel obligated to, but if you do enjoy the content, it helps out a lot. Also, please comment. I love reading the comments and I pretty much respond to almost every single one. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.